As the world progresses into a new era marked by unprecedented challenges, the supermarket shelves that once brimmed with a cornucopia of products are facing an unsettling transformation. By the end of February 2025, a perfect storm of crises, climate change, geopolitical conflicts, inflation, and supply chain disruptions threatens to strip these shelves of 10 essential items that many consumers take for granted. The urgency to understand this impending reality cannot be overstated, as each product on this list serves not only as a staple in our diets, but also as a reflection of the larger systems that sustain our way of life. Eggs, often considered the cornerstone of breakfast, are at risk due to the rampant spread of avian flu. This viral outbreak has led to significant losses in poultry populations globally, driving up prices and making them increasingly scarce. Consumers may soon find themselves grappling with their newfound absence, having to adjust recipes and meals that once revolved around this versatile ingredient. The prospect of empty egg cartons on supermarket shelves forces us to reconsider how we can adapt our diets or seek alternative sources of protein that may not suffer from the same vulnerabilities. Milk and dairy products share a similar fate. As droughts ravage key agricultural regions and feed costs soar due to inflationary pressures, dairy farmers face mounting challenges in maintaining production levels. The combination of fewer available resources and rising operational expenses leads to higher prices for consumers. This looming dairy crisis compels us to explore plant-based alternatives or fortified non-dairy options that can substitute traditional products in our diets. The transition might feel daunting, but it also opens doors to culinary experimentation with flavors and textures previously unexplored. Meat consumption is also under threat as climate change continues to wreak havoc on livestock farming. Rising temperatures and extreme weather events disrupt breeding cycles and increase vulnerability to diseases among cattle and poultry alike. With export restrictions further complicating global supply chains, the availability of meat may dwindle significantly. As consumers face the prospect of higher prices for limited supplies, there's an opportunity to pivot towards sustainable alternatives such as plant-based proteins or lab-grown meat products that could redefine our eating habits for the better. Wheat and rice, the staples upon which billions rely, are facing existential threats from severe weather patterns linked to climate change. Erratic rainfall patterns have crippled harvests across major producing regions, leading to food shortages and skyrocketing prices. The implications are dire for those who depend on these grains as dietary foundations. In response, consumers are encouraged to diversify their carbohydrate sources by incorporating quinoa, barley, or legumes into their meals, creating more resilient diets that can withstand potential shortages. Sugar is another item at risk due to both climatic challenges affecting sugarcane production and rising costs linked to labor and transportation. Sweeteners might become a luxury rather than a staple if current trends continue unchecked. This scenario invites individuals to rethink their relationship with sugar altogether, perhaps embracing natural sweeteners like honey or exploring fruits as healthier alternatives while also benefiting their overall well-being. The coffee industry faces similar existential threats driven by climate variability affecting traditional growing regions in South America and Africa. Coffee plants are particularly sensitive to changes in temperature and rainfall. Thus, the rise in unpredictable weather patterns jeopardizes future harvests. As prices climb due to scarcity, consumers might consider diversifying their caffeine sources or exploring locally sourced coffee blends that are less susceptible to global disruptions. Olive oil, a favorite condiment in many kitchens, is under threat from geopolitical tensions that impact Mediterranean production. With rising tariffs and trade disputes potentially limiting access to high-quality oils, consumers may find themselves paying premium prices or struggling to locate their preferred brands on supermarket shelves. This crisis encourages exploration of local oils or alternative cooking fats that can enhance culinary experiences without compromising flavor or quality. Canned goods provide essential nutrition during emergencies. However, supply chain issues have started taking a toll on their availability as well. Manufacturing delays coupled with rising raw material costs threaten the steady supply of these convenient food items. Consumers should start considering options such as home canning or investing in bulk purchases before they become scarce or prohibitively expensive. Finally, bottled water, a resource so fundamental yet often taken for granted, is increasingly compromised by environmental concerns surrounding water extraction practices and pollution issues stemming from climate crises. As bottled water becomes more costly or difficult to find due to environmental regulations aimed at protecting dwindling freshwater sources, individuals must contemplate more sustainable hydration methods, such as investing in filtration systems or reusable bottles that can reduce dependency on single-use plastic. The landscape of grocery shopping is rapidly changing, urging consumers to prepare for potential shortages by adopting proactive measures now rather than later. Stockpiling essential items may seem prudent. However, it is equally vital for individuals to educate themselves about alternative products that align with emerging realities. This moment calls for a deeper understanding of food systems and an appreciation for the interconnectedness of agriculture, commerce, and our daily choices. As awareness grows regarding these impending shortages, we have an opportunity not just to adapt but also to innovate our approaches towards sustainability and resilience within our communities. In conclusion, while the future may appear uncertain regarding the availability of these 10 essential products by February 2025, this juncture presents a chance for transformation. By seeking alternatives now, whether through dietary shifts or supporting local producers, we can mitigate some impacts brought forth by these crises while fostering sustainable habits that endure beyond immediate concerns. Embracing this challenge offers the possibility not only for survival but also for thriving amidst change as we navigate this new chapter together. The prospect of facing a world where staple food items become scarce is daunting, yet it also opens up avenues for innovation and resilience. As we confront the looming threats to eggs, milk, meat, wheat, rice, sugar, coffee, olive oil, canned goods, and bottled water, it becomes imperative to rethink our relationship with food and nutrition. This is not merely about stocking up. It's about reimagining our diets and the very fabric of our culinary practices. As we consider dietary shifts, we can explore the rich variety of plant-based alternatives that nature offers. The increasing popularity of legumes, lentils, chickpeas, and beans can provide not only protein but also essential nutrients often found in meat and dairy. These ingredients are not only versatile, but also less resource-intensive to produce. Communities can begin to embrace meals centered around grains and vegetables, reducing reliance on the threatened products while discovering new flavors and textures in the process. Moreover, this is an opportune moment to promote local agriculture. Supporting farmers markets or community-supported agriculture, CSA, programs can cultivate a stronger connection between consumers and producers. Local foods often have a smaller carbon footprint and are less susceptible to international supply chain disruptions. By prioritizing seasonal produce and local proteins like chicken or goat from nearby farms, we can enhance food security while nurturing our local economies. In addition to dietary changes, adopting preservation techniques can help extend the life of available products. Learning how to can fruits and vegetables or ferment foods can be both a practical skill and a satisfying hobby. These methods not only reduce waste but also allow us to enjoy the bounty of summer during the colder months when fresh produce might be hard to come by. Pickling cucumbers or making sauerkraut creates vibrant flavors that can enliven even the simplest meals. As we navigate this period of uncertainty regarding food availability, it is crucial to educate ourselves about nutrition. Understanding how to balance meals using fewer resources enables us to make informed choices that sustain our health without compromising on flavor or satisfaction. Engaging with online resources or community workshops about nutritional needs and cooking techniques can empower individuals and families alike. Another avenue worth exploring is urban gardening. With more people living in cities than ever before, harnessing rooftop spaces or balconies for growing herbs and vegetables has gained traction. Not only does this practice improve access to fresh produce, but it also fosters a sense of community among neighbors who share gardening tips and harvests. Urban gardening initiatives have sprung up across various cities worldwide, demonstrating that even in densely populated areas, food production is possible. Furthermore, as we seek alternatives for sugar and coffee, two items at significant risk, considering natural sweeteners like honey or agave syrup might present new opportunities. Herbal teas can replace traditional caffeinated beverages while offering unique health benefits. Embracing these substitutes encourages experimentation with flavors while reducing dependency on products whose future remains uncertain. The implications of climate change cannot be ignored either. They play a critical role in shaping our agricultural landscape. By recognizing these influences, such as shifting weather patterns impacting crop yields, we must advocate for sustainable farming practices that prioritize biodiversity and soil health. Supporting organic farming initiatives helps ensure that future generations inherit a viable planet capable of sustaining their nutritional needs. Additionally, as consumers become more aware of their purchasing power, it's vital to push for transparency in the food industry. Understanding where products come from allows us to make ethical choices that align with our values. This could mean opting for brands committed to sustainable practices or participating in movements that demand accountability from larger corporations regarding environmental impact. As February 2025 approaches, conversations around food sovereignty will gain prominence. Communities will engage in dialogues about what it means to control their own food systems rather than relying solely on global markets subject to volatility. This shift towards local empowerment can inspire grassroots movements aimed at reclaiming agency over food sources. We must also be mindful of the importance of nutrition education within schools. Teaching children about healthy eating habits from an early age cultivates lifelong skills that will prepare them for future challenges in food availability. Incorporating gardening programs into school curricula could bridge knowledge gaps while fostering appreciation for fresh produce among young learners. While grappling with this impending crisis may seem overwhelming at first glance, adopting a proactive mindset transforms fear into action. Building networks of support among friends and family strengthens our collective resilience as we face uncertainties ahead together. Sharing knowledge, from recipes to preservation methods, creates bonds between individuals who share common goals, health security, and sustainability. In conclusion, the challenges posed by potential shortages of essential products demand urgent attention, yet simultaneously present opportunities for growth and transformation within our communities. By rethinking dietary practices, supporting local farmers, engaging in urban gardening initiatives, educating ourselves about nutrition and sustainability, we not only prepare ourselves for possible adversities, but also cultivate a thriving culture rooted in resilience and adaptability. Embracing these changes requires courage, but ultimately leads us toward a future where scarcity does not dictate our well-being, where creativity flourishes amidst constraints, and where communities unite over shared values centered around healthful living and respect for the planet's resources. As we look forward to February 2025 and beyond, let us remain vigilant yet hopeful, prepared for whatever may come while actively shaping a world that prioritizes sustainability over convenience, health over excess, and community above all else. The path ahead may be uncertain. However, united by purpose-driven actions grounded in empathy towards one another and Earth itself, we shall navigate through these tumultuous times together with resilience as our guiding light. In the midst of rising concerns over the future availability of essential products, a growing awareness is spreading among communities, urging individuals to rethink their consumption habits and the impact they have on both their health and the environment. As supermarkets become increasingly bare and the supply chain falters, people are beginning to realize that their choices have far-reaching consequences. The urgency of the situation compels many to explore alternative lifestyles that are not only sustainable but also promote well-being. One of the most significant shifts observed is towards local sourcing. Farmers' markets are experiencing a renaissance as consumers seek fresh, seasonal produce straight from the hands that cultivate them. This not only supports local economies, but also reduces carbon footprints associated with long-distance transportation. Families are opting for organic fruits and vegetables, which often yield greater nutritional value compared to mass-produced counterparts laden with chemicals. The community spirit fosters connections among neighbors, transforming shopping into a social affair where stories and knowledge are exchanged alongside goods. Simultaneously, a new movement is emerging around home gardening. In urban settings, rooftops and balconies are being transformed into green spaces where herbs, vegetables, and even fruits can flourish. Individuals are discovering the joy of cultivating their own food, gaining not just independence from fluctuating market prices, but also a deeper appreciation for the labor behind each meal. This initiative encourages conversations about biodiversity, soil health, and the importance of preserving our ecosystems. The rise of plant-based diets is another significant trend gaining traction as people confront the realities of meat production's environmental toll. With documentaries highlighting the detrimental effects of livestock farming on climate change and resource depletion, many are reconsidering their protein sources. Innovative alternatives such as legumes, nuts, and grains are being embraced, providing not only health benefits but also introducing diversity into traditional diets. This transition is supported by an increasing number of restaurants and food companies developing creative plant-based offerings that appeal to both seasoned vegans and curious omnivores alike. As communities adapt to these changes, education becomes paramount. Workshops focusing on sustainable cooking practices, nutrition education, and self-sufficiency skills are sprouting up everywhere, from community centers to online platforms. These learning opportunities equip individuals with the knowledge they need to make informed choices, while encouraging a sense of responsibility towards their health and environment. The sharing of recipes that maximize local ingredients not only promotes culinary creativity, but also reinforces the idea that food should be a source of nourishment rather than mere sustenance. In parallel with these grassroots movements, technology plays a pivotal role in shaping the future of food distribution. Innovations such as vertical farming and hydroponics are emerging as viable solutions to combat land scarcity and ensure year-round crop production. These methods not only yield high quantities of produce, but also utilize significantly less water compared to traditional agriculture, addressing one of the critical issues exacerbated by climate change. Furthermore, community-supported agriculture, CSA, programs are gaining popularity as consumers become more invested in their food sources. By subscribing to local farms, individuals receive regular deliveries of fresh produce, while simultaneously providing farmers with financial stability throughout growing seasons. This model fosters transparency in food production and allows consumers to form meaningful connections with those who feed them. As we navigate through these complexities, mental health cannot be overlooked amidst the changing landscape. The uncertainty surrounding food security and economic stability can weigh heavily on individuals' minds. Thus, many communities are placing a renewed emphasis on mental well-being through supportive networks that prioritize emotional resilience alongside physical health. Initiatives like group therapy sessions centered around shared experiences create safe spaces for dialogue about fears and strategies for coping with challenges. Moreover, mindfulness practices such as yoga and meditation are becoming increasingly integrated into community wellness programs. Participants learn how to manage stress effectively while fostering connections between mind and body. The understanding that physical health is intertwined with emotional health encourages holistic approaches to well-being. As February 2025 looms closer on the horizon, it becomes evident that preparation must extend beyond mere stockpiling of goods. It involves a fundamental shift in values towards sustainability and communal support systems that prioritize collective resilience over individual convenience. This evolving narrative illustrates how interconnected our lives truly are, each action rippling outwards to affect our neighbors, ecosystems, and future generations. When individuals come together with shared intentions rooted in empathy for one another and our planet's resources, they create powerful movements capable of challenging systemic issues at their core. The journey ahead may be fraught with obstacles. The remnants left by avian flu outbreaks affecting poultry supply chains or persistent droughts crippling grain harvests may continue to loom large, but within these challenges lies an opportunity for transformation. Community gardens burgeon into symbols of hope while collaborative efforts yield sustainable solutions that transcend conventional boundaries. Indeed, preparing for an uncertain future compels us all towards reevaluating what truly matters, prioritizing holistic health over fleeting pleasures, nurturing relationships over profits, investing time in sustainable practices rather than succumbing passively to trends dictated by consumerism. In conclusion, while caution must remain vigilant amidst these unpredictable times ahead, an unwavering belief in human ingenuity shines brightly against adversity's backdrop. By remaining grounded in our shared values centered on compassion towards one another, as well as conscious stewardship towards Mother Earth, we shall forge pathways forward filled not only with resilience, but also optimism for brighter tomorrows where both health and sustainability thrive harmoniously side by side. Ultimately, this narrative serves as both a warning against complacency and an invitation toward action, encouraging us all along this journey toward crafting resilient communities capable of weathering any storm together, united by purpose-driven hearts ignited by empathy rooted deep within us all. Fostering a world where sustainability reigns supreme through conscious choices made today so generations yet unborn may inherit something far greater than what we received, a thriving planet brimming with possibilities waiting patiently beneath sunlit skies ahead. As we stand on the precipice of a new era, the call for action resonates louder than ever before. The challenges we face are daunting, from climate change to socioeconomic disparities, yet within these trials lies an opportunity for transformation. It is within our grasp to not only adapt but to thrive in the face of adversity, and this journey begins with each one of us making conscious choices that reflect a deeper understanding of our interconnectedness. The recent crises have cast a spotlight on the fragility of our food systems. The impending shortages of staple products such as eggs, milk, and meat are not just statistics, they represent a profound shift in how we approach sustenance. With avian flu wreaking havoc on poultry farms and severe droughts crippling agricultural production, the consequences ripple outward, affecting everything from local economies to global supply chains. As consumers, we find ourselves at a crossroads. Do we continue to consume mindlessly, or do we choose to be stewards of sustainability? Transitioning to sustainable practices does not happen overnight. It requires commitment and education. In our quest for resilience, we must embrace alternative food sources that can withstand the pressures of climate change. For instance, plant-based diets are gaining traction as viable alternatives to traditional animal husbandry, which is increasingly becoming unsustainable. By incorporating legumes, grains, and vegetables into our meals, we not only contribute to our health, but also reduce the demand for resources heavily impacted by environmental factors. Moreover, supporting local farmers can fortify community bonds while ensuring that our food sources remain secure. Community-supported agriculture, CSA, programs allow consumers to buy directly from local growers, reducing reliance on long-distance transportation that exacerbates supply chain issues. By investing in our local economies and prioritizing seasonal produce, we create a robust network that can adapt to changing circumstances without succumbing to the volatility of larger markets. However, embracing these changes requires more than individual efforts. It calls for collective action. Imagine neighborhoods banding together to create urban gardens or rooftop farms, transforming concrete jungles into lush oases of food production. This movement not only provides fresh produce, but also fosters a sense of community and shared purpose. Engaging in permaculture practices can ensure that these gardens flourish sustainably, utilizing natural ecosystems to support growth while enriching the soil for future generations. Education plays a crucial role in this transformation. Schools can serve as incubators for sustainable practices by integrating gardening programs into their curricula. Teaching children about where their food comes from instills respect for nature and cultivates a generation that values sustainability. Workshops on cooking with local ingredients can further empower families to make conscious choices in their kitchens. In addition to rethinking our food systems, we must also address other threatened products such as sugar and coffee. The environmental impact of sugar cultivation has led to calls for alternative sweeteners derived from plants like stevia or monk fruit. Similarly, the coffee industry faces challenges due to climate variability affecting traditional growing regions. By seeking out brands committed to ethical sourcing and sustainable farming practices, consumers can drive demand for products that prioritize environmental stewardship. Olive oil, a staple in many kitchens, is yet another item facing uncertainty due to geopolitical conflicts affecting production areas. Exploring diverse oils such as avocado or coconut oil can diversify our pantries while reducing dependence on vulnerable supply chains. As we expand our culinary horizons, we nurture both our health and the planet. Canned goods offer convenience, but come with their own set of challenges regarding preservation methods and packaging waste. Embracing DIY preservation techniques, like pickling or fermenting, can help reduce reliance on processed foods while allowing us to savor seasonal produce throughout the year. Sharing these skills within communities creates opportunities for connection and collaboration. Bottled water is often taken for granted until scarcity strikes. By investing in home filtration systems and reusable containers, we can diminish plastic waste while ensuring access to clean drinking water, a basic human right that is increasingly under threat due to pollution and climate change. In confronting inflationary pressures and rising production costs, we find ourselves compelled to rethink consumption patterns fundamentally. Mindful shopping, prioritizing quality over quantity, can lead us toward more sustainable options while minimizing waste. Developing a habit of meal planning allows us to make better use of groceries while reducing impulsive purchases that may end up in landfills. As we embark on this transformative journey together, let us remember that resilience stems from unity and shared values. Every small action contributes to a larger movement toward sustainability, a world where future generations will inherit not just survival but abundant possibilities cultivated through intentional choices made today. In this new paradigm, empathy becomes our guiding principle as we navigate through uncertainties. We must listen to each other's stories, understanding that every choice has far-reaching consequences beyond ourselves. Through compassion-driven initiatives such as food banks or community kitchens, we extend our hands toward those facing hardships exacerbated by economic turmoil. Let us envision vibrant communities where individuals come together not merely as consumers, but as custodians of resources, engaged in conversations about food justice and equity across demographics. Advocating for policies that protect marginalized populations ensures that no one is left behind during these transitions. Ultimately, crafting resilient communities requires more than adapting to change. It demands proactive engagement rooted in shared humanity, a commitment toward fostering a world where sustainability reigns supreme through conscious choices made today so generations yet unborn may inherit something far greater than what we received, a thriving planet brimming with possibilities waiting patiently beneath sunlit skies ahead. As February 2025 looms closer on the horizon with its potential disruptions looming over supermarket shelves like storm clouds gathering strength, let us rise together, not just as individuals, but as interconnected stewards ready to face whatever challenges lie ahead with resolve born out of love for ourselves